Hey, this is Dow Too Fast here, and it's a beautiful day here this morning at Orange Beach, Alabama. And I'm here because a friend of mine has a boat here, and it had some a couple of minor dings on the gel coat on their boat. So he asked me to take a look and see if I can maybe do a quick repair on it. So I'll show you what I've done yesterday and what I'm going to do this morning. I'm here at the boat, and I'm not sure if you can see this well, but this area right here where I'm pointing, and also this area, it had a chip. There was a sharp object that put a nick into this gel coat on this fiberglass, and you can actually see the fiberglass underneath, over here and over here. So I took some 320 grit sandpaper, sanded this down, cleaned it all up, wiped it down with some lacquer thinner, and I got this epoxy repair kit. I'll show you this in a sec. And you mix it. It's a two-part epoxy. Mix it up. It's also white color, so you don't have to paint it. And then I use a putty knife and I just fill this in, and you just let it set. So that was yesterday, and this morning I'm here to just sand this down, so smooth it out. As you can see here, it's a little rough right now, but at least it's protected. You don't want any salt water to get underneath into the fiberglass. That wouldn't be good. So this is the product that we picked up from the local marine store. It's branded by West Marine, that's a store name. It's called a Marine Epoxy Repairs. It says white here, as you can see. I'll show you what's inside. It's a two-part epoxy. If you ever work with any type of epoxy, you know that you need to mix a catalyst along with the epoxy material. So this is the resin. And there's a really thick putty-like material, as you can see. It's not liquidy, and you just get this stuff out. And also there's the catalyst. It's a yellowy liquid, and I just happen to use the sandpaper packaging. I didn't have anything else on hand, and I took some of this out, pour some of this catalyst. The ratio is 1 to 5. So you just mix it up, and I use a putty knife to mix it up. This is a putty knife I used. And after you mix it all up, then just carefully put it on the patch. And I let it dry overnight. Now this epoxy will set in about 2 to 3 hours, and it fully cures in 24 hours. As you can see, it can be sanded afterwards. It's hard as steel, it claims, and it works like putty. So it doesn't look very pretty in the beginning, but that's why I need to sand it down, smooth it out. But it's not too difficult to work with. It doesn't drip too much. You can put on vertical surfaces, horizontal surfaces. So here I have the sandpaper. I really should get a finer grit. This is still the 320 grit sandpaper. I just don't have any other sandpaper on hand. But I'm going to lightly just sand the surface here. Any high spots, just knock it down. Try to smooth it out with the rest of the surface. And of course, once you're done with this, you can go back in with a rubbing compound, and then ultimately even put a layer of wax on it, like car wax if you want. But here I'm just lightly just knocking some of the high spots down. As you can see, it is taking off the epoxy material. So this is after first sanding. As you can see, the high spots are all smoothed out now. I'm going to work a little bit more, sand it down a little bit more. If you find that there's still some divots here, some low spots, you can fill it in with some more epoxy and just work it that way. Build up the surface and then sand it down until it's all nice and smooth. But as you can see, it's done a pretty good job. The epoxy is pretty easy to sand. I don't have any problem sanding this stuff down, and it's still very smooth, even with 320 grit sandpaper. Again, you can get down to a finer grit and it'll smooth it out really well. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. Thank you for watching.